Alright, we did not immediately drop like a million frames, so I think we are all set to go. Thank you again for joining us for a Saturday afternoon stream here on Sound Goblin Gaming. I am, as always, Bog Rider Josh.
I am the Krampus.
And Shiv and Vince may be joining us a bit later. They're not here at the moment. But we're going to jump right back into our time here with River King.
So when you load the game, you can choose to play as a different character?
Yes, you still maintain the same family, so I would always be part of the Goblin family there. But I can choose to play as any of the other characters and essentially start their story. Or, if I wanted to, I could choose to start over as the son. So if you'll remember from last time, we made it to the second area, which is the mountain here. Between streams, I did a bit of fishing off stream, just to kind of get us some money and such. So we're now level 17, and we have about 2 grand in cash right now, and we also got up to the medium basket, which holds 20 fish instead of just 10. So we have a bit higher capacity, mostly... Yeah, hello.
Yep.
Mostly that basket pickup was honestly to make my little grinding trips a little easier, so I didn't have to keep popping back every time I caught 10 fish. Because one of the things about the mountain is the mountain actually has a really good grinding spot early on here. And I'll kind of show that off too as I need to go over there to also explain something.
Ah.
So kind of over by where we found that got the great brown trout for the rival mission last time is actually a really good grinding spot because we kind of swim across over here. So this was kind of the area here. And we've got this big sort of little peninsula that sticks out into the lake. All over this entire peninsula, as long as you're kind of near the water line, you can find the small fish bait. Not showing up right now, but yeah, trust me. This is a spot for getting the small fish bait. And then, basically all the decently sized fish around here, the things that are anywhere from 25 to 40 inches, all like the small fish bait as a bait type. So you basically have an infinite supply of bait to catch all kinds of really big fish that sell really well.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I had to come over here to explain the thing, though, is because I actually triggered one of the errands while I was doing the fishing to gain money. But I can't begin to explain to you exactly how I triggered it, because you'll remember last time we kind of stopped and stared for a little bit at a really big, weird-ass blue thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go check him out. All the way over here. This guy here.
Yeah.
So this is Nushi. Nushi is sort of a Loch Ness Monster-esque kind of thing that lives here in the mountain lake. And normally, the first time you walk up to Nushi, the whole thing triggers, and this guy tells you about Nushi and goes, "Oh, it's Nushi, he's friendly, we all love him, but he sounds really hungry." And he makes some stomach grumbling noises, so on and so forth. Nushi eats fish, could you please maybe bring some fish for Nushi? But he does have a big appetite. So the whole thing is that you have to bring him some fish that are above 30 inches in length to make him stop being hungry. And he needs 3 fish to do this. So I did that whole thing, because again, the other thing that I found out between streams that I never actually realized before, because I never really did it, is you can actually only be on one errand at a time in this game. Once you are on an errand, you are actually locked out from taking on another errand. That's actually what was happening last time when we were able to walk right past Naoko. It's because we were already on the errand for the lady to get the rainbow trout. The Naoko errand wouldn't trigger to give us another errand. So I just decided to clear out the Nushi errand. Hey, Vorton. As I was just explaining, that is Nushi. He's sort of a Loch Ness Monster thing that lives in the mountain lake. There's a side quest to feed him some fish to stop his tummy from grumbling that I accidentally triggered. Now, when I say that I triggered this, and I'm not sure how I possibly triggered this, I will explain. When I was doing my sort of back and forth runs of fishing, this is as far as I would actually come to fish. Mostly because once you go past here, the actual fish change out, and some of the fish that I was trying to catch for money don't actually spawn past here. So this is as far as I would come. And now you might think, oh, you know, maybe you just got too close. Except, when it actually triggered, was about here. I was running over here, came around the corner, you know, doing my thing, keeping an eye out for fish, hit about here, and it triggered a cutscene, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then it showed me over by Nushi, and I was like, I have no idea what just happened here. I cannot begin to tell you how I managed to trigger the Nushi cutscene from just about the other side of the fucking lake. But yeah, so that's an errand that I did off screen. It's not really a terribly important thing. It's kind of a side errand. It's not. Oh, you guys say something?
Yeah. Testing.
We're here.
Are you hearing them, Vorton?
Caw. I am a bird.
Because I am definitely seeing your audio spike in
Hello,
OBS.
I am Nucci, spirit of the lake. Feed me big ass fish.
Is there audio coming through?
Hold on a second.
Oh,
I'm
stood still for too long.
Holy shit, it's a deer.
okay. Yes, I can hear it on my stream. I have
Mhm.
the stream up, and I can hear our voices on the stream.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I was talking a lot
talking for a
because
while.
I was kind of explaining the whole thing there. Yes, it is also important to note that yes, they will just straight up if you stand still for a while, the quiz battles will happen as well.
Yep.
I
do like apparently someone didn't want to kill this deer, but still wanted to hang him on the wall. So they just stuck a deer's head through a plaque.
How'd you do?
Thanks, I guess.
We got a maggot from a deer.
Maggot!
Chaos reigns, apparently.
Okay, so yeah, last time we, it's not just you being on your phone, Vorton, it's also just we end up with weird stream delay for no real explicit reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last time we kind of did the first steps up here in the mountain, got some stuff done, and in particular, the reason why it was important that we did the rival challenge for this area, the mountain stream, is not because it actually involves unlocking the next area off of here, but because there's actually an errand back in the stream area that you need to have done. Naoko's challenge over there, you need to have done the great brown trout in order to come talk to Yoko over here. Who has received an invitation to a duel. Gonna let that one sink in for a second.
As you do.
Okay.
But she doesn't want to go. Because who the fuck would? So she wants us to go in her place. Which we're just kind of like, fucking why? You know, understandably. And apparently she knows something that we don't, because she says that we want to go to Asatsuyu Village. We have no idea yet that we want to. I mean, we
didn't know
do,
that was a thing.
but... And so Takako has challenged her a duel and is blocking the path to the village.
Ah, so this is exactly like that thing from Kung Fu Hustle, where she challenged us. We're the kid with the huge arms. She goes, no, that's cheating. You're my rival.
That's not Naoko. That's a different person.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was mixing up.
Yes, that's Yoko. She's a high school girl, not a junior college student like our rival Naoko.
A lot of rivalries going on in the mountains.
There's stuff about this duel. So we're gonna come over here. So over here is where the actual path to the village is. And sure enough, we cannot get past this girl with a force field. Fucking espers.
I was gonna say, I'll take all aliens, espers, and psychics. Dimensional travelers.
So Takako is understandably upset that Yoko has decided to send some random fucking school kid on to deal with the duel.
Oh, this is adorable. It's like taping a knife to a rabbit's head. The rabbit is still adorable. The knife is not helping.
So Takako refuses to unblock the path until we bring Yoko over here to her. And so we go, fine, I guess I'll go back and talk to Yoko again. So yeah,
Look, she really wants to duel.
Yeah, Yoko sent you the duel invitation, not whoever holds this duel invitation, you dumbass.
Whoever holds the #1 headband shall be chased by the person with the #2 headband.
I'm just standing here.
Welcome.
Yes, this entire duel is over some food. Yoko made Takako some food for her birthday, but it was gross. It's fine, Sound. Eventually she'll starve.
Just wait her out.
Siege tactics.
World.
Sunfish Zoo says. This is an unnecessarily long and complicated argument.
Very much so. At least it doesn't make us actually keep walking back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give the game that much.
Small town mountain politics.
Okay, so, as with everything in this game, it all comes down to fishing.
Yep.
Well, obviously.
So, we need to go catch a salmon. Not a cherry salmon, not a pink salmon, none of that. Just a regular ass, normal old salmon.
Okay.
So we need a salmon with no subspecies whatsoever.
Yes, this is important to note because there are like 6 different kinds of salmon at the mountain area.
That is to say, whatever the hell subspecies of salmon this game considers to be salmon.
Taxonomically, there is actually a fish just called salmon. Because again, this game does differentiate, and there are pink salmon, there are red salmon, there are cherry salmon. All that kind of stuff.
Neo salmon, salmon zero.
Give me a second, I'm trying to remember where the actual decent spot for salmon is. I think it's over here.
And bam, the mountain lake shark eats him.
No sharks here. Actually, I don't remember offhand if this game has sharks or not. Some of the other ones do because they involve ocean fishing, but I don't believe this one does not really have ocean fishing per se. I don't believe
And-
it has sharks.
Yeah, sharks are generally not freshwater fish.
I mean, there are river sharks, but they're like very rare. Where the hell is the actual landing point?
Yeah, but then you've got the plesiosaur over there. And you just gotta ask some questions about this idyllic mountain town.
Look, don't ask questions about Nushi. Nushi is there and has always been there.
That's old Kentucky Nushi. And he's been there the whole time.
Okay, so technically, since I don't think I can actually swim onto that little middle island there, we're just going to go for the very far out area where salmon are. As soon as I can find somewhere to actually walk back onto land. There we go. So it's important to note, that entire time we were swimming, and I still have like 70 HP left.
Yep.
Actually, as long as we're here in town, I'm going to check real quick and see. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy this fly rod. And I'm also going to buy the dry fly, even though it won't actually help us with salmon, because salmon prefer the wet fly, but it's still something. Advanced preparation.
Look, if you don't take salmon seriously, you'll just be sitting there fishing and then bam! Salmon knife to the face.
Well, that or salmonella.
Oh.
Oh, 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 oh. Dying of fire.
So when I said that the other area that salmon like to be in is way out there, I kind of meant it. It's literally like the northeast corner of the map. Like, kind of around here, I think, if I recall. So now, it's time to start keeping an eye out for fish.
Or anything that looks fishy. Got it.
So they don't like any of the stuff I have, so let's see if there's Good, there's insect right here, which is one of the things that salmon like. So I gotta be real, I remember most of the fish areas in this game. I, for the life of me, am never going to remember where all the damn bait spots are.
That seems fair.
Really, the only one I remember just like completely is that small fish spot from earlier that I showed, just because it's like the easiest grinding spot in the game, basically. I mean, it's not really worthwhile later into the game because you don't actually need money past a certain point in this game, but
You've basically bought all the rods and lures and etc.
yeah, past that point you're mostly done. You can theoretically grab some to buy like some bait or something like that, because there are still some times where bait fishing can be useful, but uh, see, you might be a salmon, but I scared you off, so it doesn't matter. So it's kind of this whole big area, honestly, where they spawn at, but it still can sometimes be a pain in the ass. Come on.
Fish.
A fish, a fish, a fishy. Oh,
Yes, unfortunately, it is not what we are looking for, but
Bino Yamane.
yep. So no joke, Morton. At some point, there was a plan for me to do a whole series of streams and/or YouTube videos, just called "Hey, this game has fishing in it," and among those was absolutely going to be Big the Cat's story from Sonic Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a type of
Ah.
salmon, but it's not the type of salmon we want.
Hmm.
That is a pink salmon.
Yeah, the scene could use battle music. It's like a random encounter in an RPG. It's basically the same thing.
Glub, glub, glub.
Some of the other entries in the game do actually have like music for the actual fishing stuff, but I actually kind of prefer it not. It makes the game more chill.
Yeah. Glub, 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 glub.
Plus, it also means I can just listen to my own music while I play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could do that anyways.
Yeah, but then
Yes,
you'd have to
but
go in and turn off the music.
yes, well, not just the music. I'd have to go in and turn off the sound in the game because this game does not have a robust options menu. And as I've mentioned previously, sound is actually a pretty important factor in the actual fishing mechanics in this game. So
Yeah.
I would be putting myself at a distinct disadvantage by completely turning off the sound in this game, just to be able to listen to my own music. But fortunately, the game doesn't really have music, so I don't have to do that. Yeah, I mean, this is the gameplay loop of River King. Is you need to catch this fish. Go find that fish.
Yep.
Uh, how about you? Are you a regular salmon? No, you're are too dark.
Big cherry salmon.
Useful for making big cherry pie.
Ah, fish pie.
Delicious, delicious fish pies.
They aren't called Pisces for nothing.
Ah.
You're definitely not a salmon, but I'll catch you anyways.
We never talk.
It's an addiction.
Alright, so when we get into the next area, there's been a chemical spill, so all the fish are mutated and have like 3 heads. There's an idea for a game.
Hmm.
Fishing game. Set in a, post-apocalyptic mutated hellscape. You gotta catch the fish, and occasionally you have to, like, fire a gun at the fish to weaken it, so you can reel it in. It switches rapidly between fishing game and first-person shooter.
Ah, first person fishing.
I mean, that's just Fishing Planet.
Oh.
Not your
I think-
thing. First person fishing.
Yeah,
No,
I
no.
assume that's what he meant.
Fishing, but with gun.
I mean, that's just ridiculous fishing. But
Yeah, everyone knows you use explosives for fishing.
no, I mean, as in there's literally a game called Ridiculous Fishing, which involves catching a bunch of fish on your hook, pulling them up, they all launch into the air, and then you have to shoot them out of the sky.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, that was like a mobile game, right?
Yes, it's made by Vlambeer, the same guys that make like Nuclear Throne and Luftrausers.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Stuff like
fishing with
that.
explosives, on the other hand, actually a thing that's done.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean that's what
See-
M80s are for.
Yeah, chum bombs.
Here, we see 2 fish, in love, cavorting and spending their days free, full of whimsy. However, it's about to take a dark turn.
2 trouts
Man.
having sex. 2 trouts having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Neil Cicerega is the gift that keeps on giving.
He is, yes.
I think this is maybe a new record. We're only half an hour into the stream and madness is already set in.
Like, we're always mad. We are all mad here, Alice. Perhaps you're the mad one for not being mad. Fish. So, was this an early PS2 game? It has one of the hallmarks of being like an early PS2 game.
Maybe. I don't remember exactly when in the life cycle of the PS2 this actually came out.
Research.
I mean, regardless of when it came out, it was still made on a budget. Because here's the thing: like the Harvest Moon games and stuff like that have never actually had a very big budget. Like they
Well,
don't.
yeah.
Yeah. These are usually niche games.
Yeah, like they have pretty much always been a developer that makes do with what they have and kind of makes a lot out of a little.
Yeah. they're a company that focuses more on gameplay than on having like cutting edge graphics.
Until the split happened, and then Natsume started making a little with a little, and they're terrible, and Marvelous continued to make actually good Harvest Moon games, just not called Harvest Moon. Because that was just a whole thing that happened.
This is River King Wonderful Journey.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so the PlayStation 2 came out in 2000, and River King A Wonderful Journey came out in 2005.
So, not that early, actually.
No,
Yeah,
it's
so
like
this
5
is
years
just an
more.
example of Natsume being like, oh man,
Well,
we're
Marvelous.
doing exactly the game, or sorry, Marvelous.
Yeah,
Doing,
remember-
this is exactly the graphics we need for the sort of game that we want.
Remember, that's the whole thing with the actual split, is that Natsume was actually just the distributor for these games. Marvelous is actually the development company that made these games. Natsume distributed them, and then eventually Marvelous actually got its own Western branch, and so when the contract was up, they did not renew with Natsume, and started releasing their own games over here out of their Western branch. However, Natsume owns the copyright on the name Harvest Moon, because the games are actually Bokujo Monogatari, which is like Story of the Fields, something along those lines. So Natsume continued to started in-house developing games called Harvest Moon, all of which are fucking awful. And then the actual Bokujo Monogatari games started releasing over here as Story of Seasons, which are mostly all right. Few missteps here and there, but that's not actually that uncommon. Harvest Moon has been a series with some mistakes. Let's put it with mistakes.
Yeah.
That, I believe, is a salmon.
Oh, salmon.
So I will say this much. Just about every fish in the game does have a somewhat distinct look. There are some shared features between fish of similar species. So like red salmon and pink salmon, for instance, look very similar. They just have different coloration and kind of different body sizes. Let's see. Yes, a salmon.
Woo!
Da-da-da-da.
I would say that's impressive, but they kind of lack some. I mean, when the graphics design is already partially done by nature itself.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I will say, these are not wholly accurate to what the fish actually look like. In a lot of cases, they're pretty decently close. But for the case of some of them, they did kind of take some artistic liberties to make them look a little bit different. Because here's the thing. The average person is not really going to be able to distinguish between a bunch of different kinds of trout. Most trout look like trout. Like,
Yeah.
like you hold up a brown trout and a golden trout to the average person, and they're going to tell you it's the same fucking fish because, for all intents and purposes, they look almost identical.
And for most intents and purposes, they're pretty close, anyways.
I mean, appearance-wise, yes. Taste-wise, not so much, actually.
No, but
Brown trout are actually kind of gross. Golden trout are really good if you fry them up right. But yeah,
No,
so they did some redesign, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's like, yes, they made fish that look like fish.
and yeah, very similar creatures can taste wildly different.
Yep, so we get a couple recipes out of doing that. And also access to another map, if we really care to. But we're not going to do that yet, because we still have a ton of stuff to do in the mountain. We're actually almost done with all the side quests and errands in the stream. About the only thing that is left, there is one other blocked off area from the south exit, but we don't really care to go down there yet. And then there is the cooking contest, which, as I mentioned last time, we can't really do until we're a better cook.
Mm.
This time off stream, up to this time off stream, what I mostly did was just getting up some money to get us some better gear and stuff like that. So we don't run into a situation again where I have to grind for like 45 minutes on stream to get a better rod and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Next time, after this stream, I'm most likely going to just do a bunch of cooking grinding. Just to get our cooking skill up, which is mostly just going to be catching a lot of a given type of fish, because right now we only have a handful of recipes. We've got salt grilled ayu, butter grilled big awana, and the fried kajika that we started with, and then blackened newt and boiled prawn that we just got. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to catch a bunch of probably ayu and just slam my face into cooking over and over again
Mm.
to level up the cooking skill. Because again, cooking only increases if you actually succeed at cooking a thing, which is
Ah.
kind of shitty, but
Yeah.
is what it is. So increasing your cooking skill can actually take quite a while in this game. Meantime, we're going to sell all this stuff that we caught while trying to get that one salmon. So now we're actually heading back over towards the northeast corner, because we got one thing to do over there. Gotta find the dude over there we actually need to talk to, because we have our paperclip quest to continue extending.
Hooray. Or
Yeah.
something.
Given to us by the horrifying demon lemur. Where is he? Oh yeah, there's also totally a Jesus statue over here if you want to save on this side of the map. Most maps only have like the one Jesus statue. They actually put another one over here just because this map is honestly a humongous pain in the ass to traverse. It's not you, is it? No. Yeah, like that dude even comments on it that there is a second Jesus statue here. Is it you? I don't think it's you. I think the dude has a red shirt. Yeah.
It's such a shame that this kid grows up to hate Waldo so much that he becomes his doppelganger.
Huh. I think that's the guy who's supposed to do it, but It might be another one of those locked behind another errand. I can never keep track. Because we should have... Yeah, so we have the question seed. Oh, yeah, as a note, what you actually get from feeding Nushi is a treasure map. It says someone's waiting on an island with no bridge. Where could it be? We'll deal with that in a little bit. No, it's just the dock. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of memory trouble remembering this whole map, because again, this one is kind of huge and sort of a pain in the ass to get around, so... I think we actually do need to go back over this way and then south from the eastern side. Maybe? Yeah, that's right. You gotta go all the way around to get there. So last time around, we did encounter this guy when we were trying to kind of come back from the great brown trout thing, but because of the whole one errand at a time thing, we couldn't actually trigger this. So now we should be able to... No, still gotta do other stuff to trigger him, I guess. So normally there's a whole challenge you have to do for him. You know, let me check real quick. I'm gonna check my notes and see if maybe we're still stuck on the duel. No, I'm not seeing anything else that needs to be done for the duel. Sorry, that's just what I'm thinking, because it seems like we're having trouble triggering errands, but... We'll go, try one that I should be able to trigger no matter what, and if that one doesn't work, then we'll have to figure something out. Yeah, because normally once you receive the reward for a given errand, like the recipes that we got for that one, that means that the errand is done, so you should be fine to move on. It might just be that I'm misremembering some of the errands in this, and that they need other triggers for certain things. Alright, so over here somewhere should be Sachiko. It's not you. Never remember where people are. You such a gun? No, you're just random woman. Sure. You know what it might be? I might actually have to go get the treasure from Nushi, because it might be locked into.
Might still be part of that quest line, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a second to figure out what the best way over to that island is. Yeah, we'll just come over this way. So this is the island it's talking about. It's an island just in the middle of the lake. There's no bridge that comes here.
A treasure.
Yep. So now that we found that, an easy way to test is to run back over here and talk to Kaoru and see if we can do the paperclip quest, since we happen to be right here.
Yeah.
It might be that you're locked into a single errand per map. That sounds kind of reasonable. Again, this game is kind of janky in its design and development. Yep, there we go. That's all it was. I had to finish out getting the treasure from the treasure map from Nushi.
Mm.
So we got this weird seed from that harvest sprite, and this guy likes growing plants.
Whatever you say, not Waldo.
Kind of see that. I don't know. A demon gave it to me. So we got a vegetable set for our random demon seed.
Ugh, demon seed.
Okay, so we handled that. We're also going to go over here and trigger Benkei now. People have a tendency to like blocking bridges in this game.
You're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
have to fight me at some point.
Great way to make sure people pay attention to you.
Won't allow it.
Pose for a selfie. I'm fairly certain in the course of grinding, haven't you caught more than 99 fish?
Probably. But not only has he caught 99 fish, he's keeping them all in his basket right now.
Ugh, that's
As you
gonna go
do.
bad real quick.
So he wants us to go catch him an albino rainbow trout.
Don't we already have an albino rainbow trout
Nope.
we caught?
No, we never got an albino rainbow trout.
I think
We
we got
got
an albino salmon.
we got an albino
brown trout.
we got an albino brown trout and we got an albino yamame earlier.
Ah, okay.
So
Hey, you're defeating the purpose!
we actually can't get to the island on the other side. We actually cannot get to the island on the other side of that bridge by swimming. That particular island does not have anywhere you can walk on shore.
I was about to say, I thought you were going to say it was an invisible wall, and I was like, why are so many people in this town psychokinetic espers? Is it something in the water?
But
It's in the fish.
there's this little island over here, and albino rainbow trout have a tendency to be in between this little, like, sandbar island and the big island over there. So we're going to do some equipment changing real quick, because albino rainbow trout actually will respond to the dry fly. So fly fishing is weird, and I still don't entirely have the hang of it, even after all the times I've played this game. So unlike the bait fishing, where you're just kind of out and it sits there, and you just either put it out or take it back in. With fly fishing, first off, even getting it actually out there is kind of a weird thing. But also, while it's out there, you can sort of slowly reel it in and move it about. So the way that this works is when you actually have it out like this, while it's swinging like this, I use the left analog stick to control how far out I'm going to throw it.
Hmm.
And then, like I said, I can kind of gradually reel it in to sort of get fish's attention. Now, lure fishing is honestly even better than fly fishing, but I wanted to at least show off fly fishing, so that's why we're doing it.
Mm.
Because lure fishing has the advantage that fly fishing does in that you don't actually use up what you've got on your line. So, like, I've got this dry fly, and I don't have to go and get more dry flies. I have this dry fly. Lures work the same. Once you have a lure, you have it. You don't have to actually, like, constantly be replenishing like you do with bait fishing. But it is the much more simple style like bait fishing is.
Where you just throw it out there and you're pretty much good.
Yeah. You can reel in lures just like you can with flies, but you don't have to do the weirdness of, like, sort of, oh, I gotta adjust my line length and this, that, and the other. They are really not spawning in a whole lot over here. So the unfortunate thing is, with the whole, locked into one errand at a time per map kind of thing, is that there's no real way to cancel out an errand you're currently on. So even if I'm coming to the determination like this, that Benkei's errand here is going to be a colossal pain in the ass to
You can't
accomplish,
cancel.
I can't
Definitely
cancel
not.
out of it, so we kind of have to.
Hmm.
Come on. Come on. So what's going to happen here is we're going to give it another minute or two, and then if that doesn't work, we're just going to go over to the fucking village. We're going to try going back to our bait fishing style, since we happen to have a lot of small fish, and that is something that albino rainbow trout will go for. Okay, well, we got a fish on the line. This is unfortunately not an albino rainbow trout, but one of the advantages is that once you actually go into this fishing screen here, it'll actually refresh the fish spawns out on the main map. That's a pink salmon. So kind of one of the tricks to this game, once you sort of play it a lot and get a decent amount of knowledge, is when you're going for a particular kind of fish, you try and narrow down, because there's a whole bunch of different baits and lures and stuff like that. So the real trick is to essentially narrow down what you're using against the fishing area you're in to only get the interest of, like, the fish you actually want. Unfortunately, we're not currently really in a state to do that, so for the moment we just kind of gotta take what we can get and hope that the fish we are looking for happens to show up. So,
So
like,
grind on fish.
yeah, I mean, it's I don't necessarily like using the term grinding for how this game works, just because it's not really grinding per se. Like, it's not. So, like, grinding I usually look at as something you have to do in order to actually, like, advance the game further that isn't necessarily the point of the game. But since the point of this game is to fish,
Under that definition, yeah. It's a contested definition, though.
yeah, I mean, any definition of a term like that is going to be
Yeah, well, most of the English language is a contested definition, pretty much by its nature.
screw it.
And that,
We're heading to the village.
actually, honestly, probably every language is contested definition, but that's another matter entirely.
brief stop over here to replenish my supplies of small fish. Down to only 35 HP.
So if you swim around for a half hour, you might knock yourself out.
Yeah, thereabouts. I mean, that one took like 6 HP to cross there.
Hmm.
That being said, we're going to pop up to the mountain village over here real quick. See if I remember which building it is. Feel like it's this one, maybe? No. There we go.
Welcome, have you come for the Festival of the Red Water? What? What? Nothing.
Nope, only festival around here is the Black Bass Festival, which we're not talking about right now.
Okay.
A, because we can't trigger it at the moment anyways, because Benkei's a dickbag. But B, because it's honestly a humongous pain in the ass.
I assume it involves black bass.
It involves catching a lot of black bass.
Mm.
I think you have to catch like 8, I want to say.
Look,
6,
my
it looks
point
like.
is,
My notes say 6. It's still a humongous pain in the ass to actually catch
Yeah.
6 black bass.
look, if there's one thing I've learned from video games, is that nothing bad ever happens in idyllic Japanese mountain towns. Nothing.
So, here's the thing about the Black Bass Festival thing as well. So, you have to catch 6 black bass. Now, you don't actually, like, turn them in to complete the reward or anything like that, so you still get to sell them for the money, which is nice. But, it usually takes a few hours to catch that many black bass. And the reward for completing the Black Bass Festival is the boiled prawn recipe that we got for doing the dual quest anyways.
Hmm.
So now we're off to the swamp.
So it's time consuming and pointless.
This is the swamp. I apologize.
I have to file a noise complaint.
God damn it, someone's mic is going out.
It sounds like we're always in constant danger of being jumped by a Silent Hill monster.
Yeah, I mean, there was a reason why I didn't want to come over here until we had to, but unfortunately, Benkei's an ass, so... So the one thing that's about the swamp is you can kind of see it's got just these weird little, like, narrow paths of water.
Mm.
There's no, like, real huge area of water. And yeah, that's not me. It just gets louder when you're in the actual town. So you can see here that there's a lot of different poles in this game. We're gonna go ahead and pick up our lure rod here, and we're gonna pick up a bunch of lures just to have them. Alright, fuck this nonsense. I can't stand it anymore.
Let the sound of the cicada gently rock you to sleep in this idyllic Japanese community.
I'm gonna figure out something for the swamp, and we'll be back here later. I mean, again, I'm not. This is not an emulation issue or anything like that. This is what the game
Yeah, no,
sounds like.
this is just how the game sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured as much. Maybe
We're
that's the
gonna.
real reason you were being blocked off from going to the swamp.
Yeah, right.
She was bringing you a
Takaka's just like, you don't want to go there. It sounds like a fucking angry swarm of hornets inside your head.
It sounds like someone's trying to rev up a circular saw, but it's not getting enough power, so it's only doing that noise.
Yeah. All right,
Or
let's see
you're
if we
really
can actually
getting looped.
trigger the other quest down here. I feel like it's locked off behind something, but yeah. Cannot do that one yet.
Benkei
So,
told me you run a job for him.
well, no, this is that is like I said, I'm pretty sure it is map by map because we were able to come out here and do the duel, even though we were still had to go get the treasure map stuff from Nushi. It's just he is. I'm pretty sure that one is actually locked behind doing another errand in one of the other areas. So that being said, I guess we're going back to the mountain and trying to get an albino rainbow trout. Whoop.
Hmm.
Sorry, give me a second. I accidentally clicked the minimize all windows thing.
Aha.
There we go.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, and for reference, we went and stayed at the end, which just refilled our HP. So that's what we did before leaving the mountain. I didn't actually explain that, but I thought it was kind of self-explanatory for anybody who's ever
Yeah.
played a JRPG.
That's what I figured. Stay at the end, get all your HP back.
It is important to note that inns are dirt cheap in this game series and always have been. It was literally 10 gold to stay at the inn. So let's do this. We're going to switch over to our lure rod, and we will do think the soft lure should be good for albino rainbow trout. Should narrow down what we're going for. So yeah, the lures kind of have a built-in bobber. That's why you don't need a bobber on those. Bobbers are only really for bait fishing. Um, and like you saw, so it just casts out as far as it casts out, um, but you can reel it in, which in some ways makes it a lot better than bait fishing, actually. Because one of the annoyances of bait fishing is having to constantly basically having to constantly adjust position.
Ah, okay.
Sorry, I had to do a thing there.
Yep.
Ah, yes.
And once you actually get a quote-unquote hook in lure fishing, as you can see, it's a little different. They're not automatically on the line. You kind of entice them. So
You've
it takes a little bit more skill than bait fishing. This is where the game actually becomes fun. As you may have kind of picked up from how simple bait fishing is, it's not particularly interesting. It's when you start doing like lure fishing that it becomes a little bit more involved, and you have to kind of work at it a little bit more, and that's more of the fun of the actual game is in that.
ah.
You also have to kind of be able to learn to read the swim patterns of the fish a little better, because as you may have noticed, it didn't really do the thing like with the bait fishing where it'll actually like snag it and give like the loud like noise and the splashes and all that stuff. So you kind of have to be able to gauge when a fish is actually showing interest in your lure. On actual PS2, this is a little bit easier because there is actual vibration that occurs, and the vibration is different between a fish just swimming past it and a fish like
Fighting.
nibbling at it, kind of showing interest in it. Um, but it's a very subtle difference in the vibrations. So, hey, no, that's not it. That's too small. It's not a fat enough fish.
Ah.
There's a new fish we haven't caught before, though. That's an oogly. Okay. So a visual indicator is if you see a fish change direction that it's swimming like that, that means that it's taken notice of your lure. So it's usually a little bit better to try and actually aim it like off from where they're actually swimming, off to the side a little bit, because that'll kind of be a giveaway if it is interested in what you're putting out there. Now the other option, give me a second, I'm going to look something up while I kind of wait for fish spawns to happen here. I think it might be... Okay, no, we cannot get there yet. So there is actually a quote-unquote boat in this game.
Ah.
I couldn't remember which area you got it in. I wasn't sure if it was possibly the swamp. If it was in the swamp, it would be worth it to go deal with that, so we could actually kind of be out a little bit more in the water. But it is not there, so... You are also not an albino rainbow trout. Yeah, so one of the annoyances is, unlike a lot of other fish in this game, the albino rainbow trout have a very small area in which they will actually spawn, and it's pretty much this. Like, technically, the ideal spot to fish for them is from the other island that we can't get to because Benkei is blocking the damn bridge. You, I think, are a different kind of trout. Yep, that's a big rainbow trout, not an albino rainbow trout. We were close.
Basically the same thing, right?
Give me some white paint.
Any trout is an albino trout if you try hard enough.
Alright, I'm gonna leave this big rainbow trout out in the sun for like a day. Yeah, because you can kind of see up towards the other island there's a bunch of fish. Any one of which could be that albino rainbow trout we need.
Albino rainbow trouts can be anywhere. They could be your neighbor. They could be your brother. They could be you.
Oh no.
Look to your left.
That's not a
To
trout.
your right. Now back to your left.
One of these people is a trout.
If you don't see a trout, it could be you.
Okay, so I've got a better expansion on your earlier idea, Krampus.
Uh-huh.
So rather than post-apocalyptic mutant fish fishing, Warhammer 40k Underhive fishing.
Oh, get that delicious, delicious fish.
Either that, or I would also accept orc fishing.
Well, yes, you can be an orc in an Underhive.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? You think they're going to notice you down there?
Get the crumpin'.
All right, you what? It's time for another episode of Fishing with Squigs.
It's me, Big Knob. Where's gonna go? We're gonna take this. There's a stick. We're gonna tie something to the end of it. We're gonna tie the other end to this squig. And we're gonna toss it in the water. We're gonna see what we get. Today we're going on a fish wog.
I'm catching all manner of trout, all of which have too much pigment. Come on.
Let this be a
Fuck
lesson
you.
to you. I don't know what kind of lesson, but let it be a lesson to you.
You're not a trout.
Game is trying to teach you that the only good fish are whitefish.
Whoa.
Seems like a bad lesson.
Not getting involved.
You're a black bass, I think.
I assume catching them beforehand does you no good.
No, it does.
Okay.
This game does not care about you actually catching fish. It cares about you having fish in your basket for quests.
Hmm.
That being said, I don't know if black bass will actually go for a soft lure. That is the thing about lure fishing. It is possible to trigger this screen with a fish that's actually not at all interested.
Hmm.
It's rare, but it is possible. Also, black bass are pains in the ass who don't want to ever actually... Yeah, fuck it. I don't care. Not worried about you right now. Also, I don't care about the black bass quest because it literally gets us a reward that we already have. Oh. Where are you? You're technically a little outside the kind of general spawn area, but maybe. Come on. No, you want it. You're also a black bass. So one thing about the fish swimming patterns, the reason I'm not like immediately reeling in here, they tend to go in straight lines for as far as they can. So if I see a fish way out that's on a line to interact with where my lure is, I will generally, oh, that might be
Fish,
it.
fish.
That's either an albino rainbow trout or a big rainbow trout. It
Fish, fish.
seems lighter than the last big rainbow trout we got.
Get him sound. Go
Come
on,
on.
you dumb animal.
The fish or sound?
Go get him, you dumb animal.
Come on.
Oh, he got my hopes up.
Nope.
Hopes deleted.
I'm pretty sure that was actually a big rainbow trout anyways, and not actually an albino rainbow trout.
Big rainbow trout.
Seemed a little too chufty to be an albino. How about you? What are you up there? You're a salmon. You're not a trout. So this is kind of the flip side to this game. Like, I'm not having fun by any means. Like,
But we're very clearly just getting kind of like a holding pattern until we get the one specific trout
yeah,
that we need.
it's probably not necessarily a great game for streaming, honestly, because it's a lot of this. But
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
cares? We're not great streamers anyways. So, but
We
like
are the best streamers.
as far as like actual gameplay goes, like it's relaxing and it's fun. Like I enjoy playing the game. It's just a lot of patience and a lot of, well, fishing. And not always necessarily getting the fish you need, but in a way, all fish are the fish you need. How about you? You might be.
You gotta fish a little deeper.
You are definitely the right shape, and you seem a little slimmer, so maybe. Nope, another big rainbow trout, just a smaller one.
Gotta
Son of
fish, fish.
a son of a bitch. Yeah, another black bass. Yeah, sometimes it just be like this, especially with the fish that have much smaller and rarer spawn areas. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna check my notes here. Okay, nope. I was checking real quick to see, because there are some fish that are in multiple maps. So I was looking real quick to see if there was anywhere that albino rainbow trout happen to spawn in the stream map, and they do not. They are mountain only. Because again, this game doesn't actually care about you catching the fish. It only cares about you having the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta have fish.
I
You
gotta have fish, fish, fish. Fishy McSketcherton.
We already played that game.
We did already play that game.
So welcome to the next 2 hours of the stream.
Remember, you chose to be here.
I mean, we could go back to the Skullbees zone.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Alternatively, we say fuck this and put it to the test and see if those patch notes for Talisman Digital Edition were actually true.
That sounds incredibly unfulfilling.
I mean, I enjoy Talisman.
Yeah, but I don't enjoy Talisman when it crashes, and I don't trust that they fixed it.
That was my exact response. That's great.
Yeah.
But no.
They said they did. You can't just lie in patch notes, guys.
This is the part where we throw our heads back in raucous laughter.
If that were actually true, they would have fixed arcane missiles a long time ago.
They did.
Yeah,
It's just,
Bards would be in the game.
They kept having to fix arcane missiles.
We would have gotten Bards, which I thought would have been an actual pretty good idea for WoW. They've done weirder.
I don't know. At this point, I'm pretty sure the only good idea for WoW is taking it out behind the shed and putting it out of its misery. But
They've been trying.
Yeah.
Man, have they been trying.
Kind of as evidenced by how popular WoW Classic is. Like, everyone expected WoW Classic just to be some kind of joke. Like, it comes out, people realize, oh, maybe we didn't want, Classic World of Warcraft.
don't kid yourself. There was plenty of maybe we didn't want Classic World of Warcraft in the wake of releasing WoW Classic.
Yes, just not enough to stop justifying the cost of the,
There were plenty of bug reports submitted as, hey, this isn't working, and they're like, no, that's how it was, working as intended.
Yep. Which was endlessly amusing to read.
Oh yeah.
That's not something wrong. That's what you want. Turns out I didn't want that.
Right on, Vorton. I'll have to check it out at some point. Like, send it to us on Discord or something. We'll take a look.
Yeah.
Always interested in that kind of stuff. I've been looking a little bit more into 5e. It seems pretty solid. I mean, realistically, the likelihood of us ever playing a D&D game ever again is pretty slim to nil at this point, but
I mean, Pathfinder's basically D&D.
I mean, the likelihood of us ever playing a Pathfinder game again at this point is pretty slim to nil, but
Ugh.
pretty much
Likelihood of us ever leaving fishing hell at this point is slim to nil.
we're not in fishing hell yet, man. Wait until the end of this game where we have to catch the River King. Who, for all intents and purposes, looks like every other coelacanth in the underground cave. But yeah, honestly, other than like previous obligations already made, I don't know how interested I would be in playing D&D/Pathfinder anytime soon. Fine, basket is full. Let's go sell off all this crap because I refuse to waste money in the bank. Like, maybe if I can actually figure out a reasonable way to make the Blue Mage class I'm working on work, I'd be interested in at least trying that in a Pathfinder game of some sort. But like, other than that, after basically getting through a long-term campaign, which, in all honesty, ended in much the same way that most of our long-term Pathfinder campaigns end, i.e., we get to the last, like, what would be the last couple sessions, and we're just like, do we really want to keep playing Pathfinder, or do we just want to go through narratively what happens? Because, turns out, for the most part, high-level Pathfinder slash high-level D&D actually isn't really all that fun to play.
I just need to end campaigns earlier.
Generally. Generally just don't go to level 20.
Alright, still at 120 HP, we're still fine. So it is notable, by the way, that getting to 0 HP in this game doesn't really do a whole lot of anything.
Mm.
You basically pass out and just wake up in the nearest inn.
Ah.
You might lose some fish from your basket. Some of the games do that, some of them don't. I legitimately don't remember if the PS2 one does or not, because frankly, it's so hard to actually run out of HP. You almost have to try in this one. Like, in the ones that have actual, like, fights against wild animals, it's a little bit easier, because sometimes you're, you know, going down a path to go catch some fish, and you just run into a fucking bear. But,
As you do.
Well, yeah, the bear wants to fish too.
no, that's actually what it is. Hey,
Aha!
of course, it's the first thing we catch when we get back over here.
Meh.
Here, and I hope you fucking choke on it. You're pretty good. And there's the important part of why we had to go through all this nonsense.
Because people didn't build a bridge wide enough?
Well, no, I mean the reason we wanted to actually get over to this island.
Ah, it was the wash tub.
Yeah. Just somewhere around here. There we go.
Ah, is this the quote-unquote boat you were talking about earlier?
Yes.
So we have a wash tub boat.
Yep. So, it still takes HP to paddle the wash tub. And it doesn't really necessarily move all that much faster than swimming. But the important thing is we can fish from in the wash tub.
Mm. So we can fish from like in the middle of the lake.
Yep. Which, like, if we had that prior to trying to do this quest, it would have been much easier because we could be more out here trying to catch fish rather than stuck on this island where we had to go for only the fish that came close enough.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have left here? Alright, well, about the only thing we've got left on the mountain, I'm sad to say, is, the black bass stuff.
Ah. Do we already have a couple of black bass? Or
No.
did we sell them all in the Great Purging?
We sold them all, but it's not
Okay.
too much of a pain. Like, I generally know where they are. I'm just trying to think if we actually want to do it. Give me a second. I'm going to check what the actual progress quests are. I don't remember off the top of my head what all the progress quests are for each area. Okay, so we did Nushi, which was required. We did Benkei, which was required. That is actually it.
Mm.
Those are the, yeah, we've done all the required quests in this area, actually, so fuck that. We're not doing the Black Bass quest that gets us literally a prize we already have. So instead, we're going to go back over to the quote-unquote swamp. It is important to note that while the loading screen says swamp, the game actually classifies that area as the field. They just pointed it to the wrong loading screen.
Hmm.
So for this one, I am actually just going to straight up follow the guide so we can get through the field as quickly as possible.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Because that fucking noise. Also, currents will carry you.
Well, makes sense.
And before we run over to the field, we're going to check one more time to see if we can trigger the quest off of Mamoon. I think we have to do one thing over in the field first. But if we don't, if we can in fact trigger this quest, that would be great. Nope. So I think we have to do just one quest over in the, Okay. So reading the guide here, we're going to do a couple things here in the, one thing in the stream area and one thing in the mountain area first before going to the field, because it looks like the one quest we actually need to do before doing Mamoon there involves catching 3 fish, only one of which is actually in the field area. So we're going to go ahead and catch the ones that are out here first. Just so we can absolutely minimize the amount of time we have to listen to the hell cicadas. So from here, we're looking for an Iwana.
Huh, suddenly a pun from Monster Hunter makes sense.
Huh.
Well, one of the common fish that you can catch in Monster Hunter is the arowana.
Arowana is another kind of fish.
Oh.
That's an actual
Oh.
fish.
I'm learning, it feels terrible. I've become slightly more enriched about fish.
This knowledge will serve you better later in life. No, wait, no.
So amusingly, most of the knowledge I have about fish does come from just playing fishing games. You're a cherry salmon.
Why, thank you.
Our level went up. Hooray!
Yeah, I mean, there are actual benefits to leveling up. Things that happened sort of during the progress. You might be an Iwana, actually. I believe you are. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing we need is back over to the mountain for a smelt. Which... Okay, yeah, still go for soft lure. Sorry, I'm just verifying. I'm pretty sure I know. Yeah, okay. Just verifying where smelt are found. But yeah, the big thing is a lot of fishing games, particularly a lot of Japanese fishing games, uh, all use basically the same kind of fish. So you'll see the same names for fish come up a bunch.
Yeah, makes sense.
So notably in this regard, even with the more straight line path, because my walking speed is faster right now, it's actually just a little bit faster to walk around here than it was to swim or paddle across the lake. Like I was saying, one of the things is, like, as you're leveling up, you get different things happening, and one of the things I got during the between stream, like, money stuff, was a walk speed increase, which is one of the things you can get from
Hmm.
leveling. So yeah, smelter in this little pond here, and as you can probably tell, it's kind of a pain in the ass because you can't really see very well.
Yeah, it's all covered up with reeds and junk.
Yep.
Smelt man with the power to
Smelt.
smelt.
Come on.
Come on, fish. Get it. Oh, there's no biting. Grab the docker.
Hmm.
Do a little dance. Do a little fish dance. Fish dance.
Fish dance.
All right, we're gonna see.
The wiggle.
Just see what baits can be found here. All right, give those a try here.
Cause you gotta have faith.
So smelt do also like the bee larva bait, so we're gonna give that a try here.
Okay.
Once I can spot and see if there's any actual fish in the damn pond right now. It's also, as you may imagine, a little bit easier to do bait fishing here, just because there's an actual like visual indicator when the fish bites.
Yeah.
Okay, there's our smelt. So now, off we go to the field for the only thing that's actually required for the quest out of the field.
Buzz, buzz. Buzz, 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 buzz.
And we're going to go ahead and switch back over to the lure rod with the soft lure because that does work for these guys.
So does everybody get access to the wash tub, or is it just the kid?
No, everybody gets the wash up.
Okay.
Again, the quest lines are basically the same no matter what character you're playing.
Ah. Okay. So I have the image of the dad.
Oh, the dad in the wash
standing-
tub looks hilarious. He fills most of it.
Can someone help me? I'm stuck in the wash tub. Can't get out.
No, like all
Oh,
told,
okay.
the whole thing is that there's sort of a tradition in River King games of getting something along these lines. A
Ah, okay.
idiot boat of some sort. Some of them you do eventually actually get like real boats, but those are mostly the ones that also involve ocean fishing. In general, if they're the ones that are like river only, they tend to give you something goofy like a wash tub or it was like a fruit box, I think was one of them. Stuff like that. Sorry, I was just taking a second to check frames. We are still good. We have not dropped any frames.
Yay.
More importantly, we're still live, which was the other thing to check.
Need frames.
It begins. There is not but the sound of the cicada.
So-
Caressing me.
Buzz. Buzz, buzz. 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 Buzz, buzz, buzz.
So I don't actually particularly remember what like size fish this thing is. So that's going to complicate things a little bit.
Not in your notes, I assume.
I don't make notes of the actual like size profiles of the fish.
Hmm.
A lot of them I just kind of remember, but this one I do not recall. I feel like it's the long, slender ones, but I haven't seen any of those, so... I'm also just not going to spend time screwing around with fish that we're not trying to catch, so... Ah, black bass!
Ah.
Piss off!
But can it sing?
Well, it's not a Billy the Big Mouth bass.
That's not worth mounting.
Nope, still don't care about you.
So what type of fish are we looking for here again?
An eel.
Ah.
I will say, anytime we're actually in that catching a fish screen is a pleasant reprieve from the fucking sound of this fucking field.
Cicada can't reach you under the lake.
The soothing sounds of cicada. Or your electronics slowly frying themselves, I'm not entirely sure.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Cicada, slowly frying the electronics.
So kind of the other thing about it is like this entire little lake here is the spawn area for eels.
Ah.
There's sort of a lot of ground they can be in. Well, at least it has quieted down a little bit.
Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah, at least. Still sounds like someone's lightly drumming something.
Kinda, yeah.
If only the Hitcher were around. He's got eels. Eels up inside you.
Find an entrance where they can.
Yeah. Excuse the rustling.
Believe me, it sounds better.
Yeah, like we can hear it over this.
Do 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 do
Oh, too close to him.
Mhm.
You're not an eel.
You're not even a real eel. Reunion of the snake from this life. Eels, buzz, buzz. Eels, buzz, buzz.
I don't do some eels.
They need more drums.
Need to master their mating call.
Wriggle, 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 wriggle.
Wriggle, wriggle,
I am a sexy eel.
Yeah.
Come, let us propagate the species. Wriggle, 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 wriggle. I think that's right. The mighty cry of undulate, undulate.
There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, since we didn't actually get anything fly fishing before, the other thing to point out is that fly fishing, much like bait fishing, starts with the fish on your hook when you actually get into this screen.
Ah, okay. You do most of your enticing wriggling in the fishing section versus the reeling section.
Yep.
All right. My eel call worked.
Okay, so now that we've gotten that, let me make sure I know where we're going. Right on. I'll check it out after stream for it and know what I think. Okay. I feel like she's somewhere in the village. I could be wrong, though. You? No.
Nope, that is woman. Distinctly does not have a name.
I really should make better notes. Like, my notes for the character we're looking for say, Serica, young woman.
Hmm.
I feel like there's an area up here. There she is, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's a errand of some
Yay!
sort. Yes, this is
Hmm.
Serica.
I want it. Feel, Awana, and Smelt.
Yep. Then she just tells us where to find those, but we already knew.
Yep.
And we got another piece of something. Okay, and that, I believe, is the only actually required quest out here.
Ah, just needed to get the piece of something.
We will know shortly, because I'm going to go run back over to the stream and see if Mamoon will give us his quest yet. Yeah, there's sort of this weird web of errands in this game that don't really make any sense. Okay, so he's not willing to do that yet. So, I guess we'll go maybe try a couple more things in the field there. And if that doesn't clean it up, I'll probably call the stream and I'll just deal with the field stuff off stream so that we don't have to subject people to this. So we'll do the easy one first, which is trading in that vegetable set. Just this lady over here. In return for this vegetable set, we get a bracelet.
Hooray. Which somebody surely wants.
Also, spotlight. What else do we actually have? Ah, I get it. Jesus. Oh, hello.
Yep, you found a animal of some sort.
Raccoon dog.
Okay, that's what they're going for. Like 3 or 4 different things that might have.
Yeah.
Dun dun.
So there's that's a thing. That's technically a quiz animal in this area, but it's sort of a special quiz animal, in that it does things a certain way. Also, I'm gonna check in the store real quick here, see if they got anything interesting. Got this large basket that I don't really care about. And yeah, none of those are something I particularly catch a ton of. Oh, good, we're getting that glitch. So sometimes when you leave a building, it puts you in such a place that the first step you take puts you back on the enter plane for that building.
Ah.
And so you kind of loop, and you just have to like keep going in and out until it actually does its thing, and lets you actually proceed. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up the casting pole here. So what the casting pole is another bait rod, but it allows you to reel with bait. So what can we do here? Yeah, we can try that. Let's see. So we're gonna come over here and talk to Krampus.
I will have you know that my shirt fits perfectly. Also,
Oh.
I don't know if we want to be associating with a man who's making a fan club for random high school girl.
She's a junior college girl.
You're a college girl. This does not change my opinion.
It's just creepy stalker behavior. It's not creepy stalker pedo behavior.
I mean, junior high school still like 15, 16, 17?
No, junior college.
Oh, junior college, never mind.
Yeah.
Junior high school.
Yes, now Naoko is in fact an adult, which makes it even funnier that she declared this like 12-year-old kid her rival.
What you're saying is we should be reporting everyone in this game to the police.
It's even funnier if you're playing as the little sister who's like 8. Alright, so we gotta go catch a monster bass.
Monster bass.
Hey Naoko. This really creepy dude over in the village. Don't go there. So, monster bass are in basically exactly 2 spots on this map. There's the North Pond and the South Pond here. And as you may have seen earlier when we were doing this, like almost right in the center is this darker area, this deeper water.
Uh-huh.
And monster bass only spawn in this deeper water. Each of the ponds has sort of that deeper water area, and it will be in the deeper water area of either one of them. So since it's not looking like we got one here, we're going to go to the North Pond. So yeah, with the casting rod, we can use bait and still have the ability to reel in like this, which is nice for some uses, but doesn't generally really merit spending the money on it.
Unless you have nothing left to spend money on.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, there's better rods you will get later that have hi Kappa.
Cap, 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 cap.
Good to see you're up on your rudimentary knowledge of Japanese monsters.
Yep. So yeah, the dark water spot in the southern pond is significantly smaller, which is why you mostly want to go for the north water pond. I just wasn't seeing anything up there, so I decided to come check real quick. Well, you are a big bass. You might not be a monster bass, though. Let's see. Yeah, you're just a big black bass.
Hey, Russ. Hey, Russ, fish or Russ.
Indeed.
There's a monster.
Rawr, monster.
Pretty sure, at least. Might just be another really big
Good.
black bass. Nope, that's a monster. Good.
Hooray.
Ugh, God.
Now the frogs are joining in. Oh wait, no, that's Vince doing that.
I figured I'd replace the swamp ambience with other swamp ambience.
Not better.
Fine. We'll try something else.
And also, this is technically not the swamp. Remember, that's a misplaced loading screen. This is technically the field.
Ah.
Here, have this fish.
This is a little awkward. There's a lot of things wrong here, sound.
Alright, now we run on back to the village and hand this to the guy. And then we'll see if Mamoon will get the fuck out of the way. And if he won't at that time, there's really only one more side quest to do here, but it takes a long time in this field, so I will not subject people to that, and I'll just do it off screen.
Ah.
Yay, we got a basket.
Yes, the reason I didn't care about buying the large basket, because we just get that for free, and it's 50 fish as opposed to 30.
Ah, okay.
So to let people know what it is, this school teacher over here needs kill a fish to show his students, but is a terrible fisherman, so can't catch them. So if we take that quest, we would have to catch 6 killifish, which live in these waterways between the rice fields. Oh, raccoon dog again. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So the killifish are caught in these little waterways, and it's kind of a pain in the ass, and he needs you to catch 6 of them. So if it is necessary to do that, I'll just do it off screen, so you don't have to put up with that shit. Hey, you want to get the hell out of the way? Yes! There we go. This is certainly not racist at all.
Not in the
Nah.
slightest. How could you ever think that?
It's a perfectly normal man named Mammon. He's not a character of any sort.
So he needs some ingredients for his curry, which, lo and behold, are fish, as you might have guessed.
Why is he so flat?
Maybe he's a literal cartoon character that just peeled off of a page from a racist newspaper.
So one of the annoyances of Mamoon here is that he will only tell you like one at a time what fish he needs. I mean, obviously, I know in advance what he needs, and you can, as usual, just kind of stock them up in advance. Um, while I'm on it, prep in advance. So the second one he's going to ask for after the Ito is a cherry salmon, which we already have. So that's nice. And then, unfortunately, the third fish that he asked for is something we're going to have to go back to the field map for. Because the third fish he wants is a prawn, and those are also in that dark water area of the northern pond over in the field. So we'll be back there briefly, but those should hopefully be pretty quick to catch. But for right now, we need to get this Ito first. It is important to note that when talking to Mamon, he said make it a big one, except there is also a fish called a big Ito, and we specifically need to get a regular Ito and not a big Ito. I gotta check my notes
That's
real
certainly not confusing.
quick. See. Yeah, so Ito are actually like specifically only up in the actual like pond area up there where the waterfall is. So now that we actually have our wash tub, we're gonna kind of do a thing here.
He's gonna do a thing.
Does a thing.
Which is we're gonna sort of
Does
wedge
a thing.
ourselves into the rocks here. Probably be like right here-ish. That's another cherry salmon, but that's all right.
Jerry Salmon. Ah,
That's not an Ito either. That I believe is a Yamame. Yeah.
Hmm.
just gonna stand in the waterfall.
Yep.
It's like some weird kung fu training, but for fishing.
So yeah, as with most things in this game, it's just about patience.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Normal everyday things like hanging out in the tub in a waterfall.
It's
Yep.
fine. It's a water-resistant wash tub.
That's not the problem.
Also, the waterfall goes pretty deep.
Okay.
There's no actual purpose to this, it just does.
That's what I figured. Fish?
I don't think that's an Ito. No, that's an Iwana. You are also not an Ito, I don't believe. Yep, just another Iwana. You're another cherry salmon. It's just how it goes
How did you
sometimes.
reach these fish?
Uh, Look, all I'm saying is at least the background noise on this map is not atrocious.
There.
Yeah. But could definitely use a little something.
Don't.
Good, because I didn't have anything at the right.
I refuse to trust the phrase, it could use a little something from a man who put 1.5 pounds of nutmeg in mac and cheese.
It was an improvement.
No, no, it wasn't.
It was off-brand Kraft mac and cheese. Literally not eating it is an improvement. If I forced you to not eat it, therefore I approved your lie.
Except you
You're welcome.
didn't. Remember, I ate it.
You didn't have to.
In that respect, that's your own fault.
Wait, what the hell is up with this guy over here?
No, there's more than enough fault to go around here. I'm not gonna let you walk into someone's house, shoot them, and then say it's their fault for not dodging bullets. He may have eaten it, but you're the one who put a pound and a half of nutmeg in. That was a conscious decision you made, and you have to own it.
One, I didn't put a pound and a half. That would literally triple the size of the dish. Also, I don't think we have a pound and a half of nutmeg in there. We have a lot of nutmeg for
Whoa.
some stupid reason, but not a pound and a half.
That's a bigger boy.
Huge fish.
I mean, it's not the
Huge
kind of
fish with
fish.
camera problems.
It's not the kind of fish we want, I don't think. But
And it got away.
It took 20 damage. That was quite an amount of damage.
yes, it also unfortunately runs off with the lure if it does that.
Ugh.
Really?
Also, I'm only at fault for the nutmeg in the mac and cheese if he didn't know I put the nutmeg in the mac and cheese.
I didn't.
No. Even if you know it's in there, doesn't mean you're not at fault.
Yeah. Again, the rule is not if nobody sees you shoot him, it's not your fault for him getting shot. Let's be very clear about that.
I put literal shit in this mac and cheese. Yeah, but I told them there was shit in it. Why'd you put shit in the mac and cheese in the first place?
Also, that defense doesn't work. I didn't know you put a shit ton of nutmeg into it until I ate a bite and said, "What the fuck did you do to this?"
Okay, that's fair.
You know, I saw there was a spice of some sort in it, but I, like a, normal person, assumed it would be a spice that would actually work well with mac and cheese, like paprika or something along those lines, not fucking nutmeg, whose purpose in life is, nothing. Never use nutmeg.
Yeah, I like that. Like,
There is
Not
nothing
enough to
on
eat that mac and cheese.
there is nothing on earth improved by the addition of nutmeg.
Alright.
Yeah, if we don't catch one here, I think we're gonna call it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say this might be something best to be done.
Even if we do catch one here, we'll probably call it and
Yes.
resume this later.
yeah.
I think this might actually be an Ito.
And the problem is he's not biting.
They take some time. They don't always bite immediately. Lure fishing is an art. Come on.
Give it a nibble.
Nom nom nom.
It's hidden. Can't see it.
I feel like that would be counterproductive to what we're trying to do.
Nah,
I've
went too
created a
far.
lure that a fish can't see.
Alright, well, I'm gonna run
Yeah.
over to the Jizo statue and we'll call it here.
Yeah.
I will do some work off stream to catch that Ito, and I'll probably go and catch the prawn off stream as well, just to not subject you folks to the field. Just clean up everything that needs to be done over in the field. And then, like I said, I'm going to do some work off stream to up our cooking level so we can actually start doing the cooking contests. Errands. Because there's no way to pass them at lower tier cooking levels. But we did make progress today. We basically finished off the mountain, and we got both a fly rod and a lure rod and some stuff to start working with it, which will basically carry us through most of the rest of the game.
Yep.
As we do our things here. That being said, thank you all for joining us again for another Saturday afternoon Sound Goblin stream here. We'll be back tomorrow, right around 2 o'clock, with something. We're filling Sunday still. Might be
Yep.
Sentinels again. Might be something else. Who knows?
I actually have a game I want to show off tomorrow that I found
All
on
right.
Steam. So we'll be doing a look at that.
All right. So we'll have something tomorrow, and then Tuesday we'll be back for the next season of Cloudland Rangers over in Chroma Squad.
Yeah,
So
final
as always,
season.
I've been Fog Rider Josh.
I've been the Krampus.
I've been sure.
And I'm Vincent.
And have a good one, everyone.
Bye,
Yep.
everyone.
Goodbye.